other ones would otherwise do. It just, like, others will just do it better, basically. As well. Sure. Yeah, I'm actually going to get to his jumping C as well, and oh man. Just to give you guys a heads up as well on that move is so fucking cheap. Hella good jumping. I mean, I can't even stress that enough, but I will get to that when I can, but still talking about 5C, there's really not a whole lot to say about it that I can really justify the means to use it, because personally I don't really use it. I don't really use it liberally, if at all. Even if you were to be successful in landing it, the thing is, that's the best you can get from max mode. That's the absolute best you can get in terms of just one bar, which is measly over the fact that you can just do a faster normal, which is more reliable as a whiff punish, into full screen corner carry, into much better Oki situation. You know what I mean? So again, this move is completely replaced by 5B. Outside of the fact that it's a decent situational anti-air, I think it's slightly disjointed, but the hitbox is a little weird from my experience, so I can't really, I can't really justify that. Let me get some water quickly. Alright, okay. But yeah, 5C, not going to be winning you any tournaments anytime soon, so, just stick to 5B, really just a much more solid tool just for harassing and whiff punishing and all that. Alright, command normals. 6A, generally just his overhead. You mainly want to chain into this off of 2C. 266A is relatively safe and is kind of also a main hit confirm tool into his bread and butter combos, which again provide ridiculous corner carry. So there's that to consider. Another interesting note is that it does have auto guard frames. I will probably try and show you that now if I can. Probably have to record it or something. Fuck. You know what, fuck it, let me... Oh, excuse me. Let me keep this simple. Let me see if that works. See if this works quickly. I'm not too sure of the startup frames rate, but I believe it's like in the middle of the animation. So I would say not at startup, but around the time where the hitbox becomes active. Really, all things considered, it's just kind of his generic overhead. I still don't know why he has one, considering his options, which I will get into later. But it's there, 100% usable. It can be done meaty in certain scenarios, but otherwise it's really just kind of your generic overhead. Alright, 4A, literally erase this move. You do not need it. Like I was talking about earlier, in the sense that a lot of his normals just kind of cover things like some of other normals do. This, erase it. You don't need it. Just think less is more, and just ignore this move completely. It's meant to anti-air. Mainly just full jumps. What the problem is, I mean, it does have auto guard frames, but the problem is that it's so fucking slow that you're not going to be able to clip them like whilst they're still in the air. They're going to land before you. You're going to be looking like you're swinging like an asshole, and you're going to get clipped, and then that's no fun. Not in this game anyway. It's not a fun ideology to take into consideration when you're using 4A, so just ignore this move. If you ever do use it, I'm just going to take into account it was an accident. It does happen, but really, yeah, just ignore it. You don't need it. 2C, 5A, cover all the other options for their aerial approach just fine. One thing to really note though is that if you do somehow land this move, it's mainly from like his jump CD confirms from counter hit, which I'll go into later as well. You can go max mode into this again and then go into EX Wrecker. I don't really know if I've got a way to, I think I've got a way to demonstrate that, but it's going to be a little tricky. 1 second. I don't really use pads, you see. Like that. But you don't really get anything else after it. But I mean, it's there, but just don't use it. It's really kind of something you just do not need to think about. at least from my experience. I mean, some other dinosaur players might disagree, but overall, I just think it's a really shitty move and just should be erased from the game. Definitely one of the worst normals I've really seen in this game, as far as I'm concerned. All right. Okay, CD. Not quite generic in the sense that it's you know, it does everything else every other blowback does in this game. It just kind of puts them on a wall splat situation. Interesting thing to note with Dinosaur is that it's actually plus on block. I believe it's +3, which is quite a sizable chunk. That's all right. And one thing you can really do to kind of maintain corner pressure, like something to consider if you were to maintain that corner pressure. It's nothing I would use liberally if it's outside of the corner because you don't get much on hit. And on block, if you were to block this move, the fact of the matter is that your Oki situation and just your Vortex is nowhere near as scary as it would be in the corner. So you might as well just be saving it for the saving the meter to find opportunities to put them in the corner, which is again Dinosaur's strongest point if you ask me. So you know, CD not bad, good for maintaining pressure. You can maintain frame rate a bit, like, but otherwise, you know, nothing I would use liberally outside of those specific situations. And even still, Dinosaur just has you should really be putting more focus into like being confident with your options and your mix-ups. So if you were to be using CD, all it's really telling me is that you're not 100% confident in like committing to something that's going to really get you damaged, so you're just kind of keeping them like just in check and putting them in frame advantage, which in itself isn't too bad, but again, you've got to be taking a lot of risks for this character because they pay off dramatically, and you're going to be getting your opponents just pretty much shitting their pants, and I suppose it would be all there is to it. But yeah, anyway, I suppose going into his jumping normals would really be the next step here. Let me just set this shit quickly. Okay, alright, so 8A, honestly, this, so, you know, I think it'd be better just to kind of talk about his, like, his best short hop options, just so I can detail, like, 8A a little more, but, okay, so, jumping D, this is kind of your go-to air-to-air, if you ask me, and also just to kind of, retreat with a hitbox to see if they're still swinging. Mainly used to see if you've caught them with like their short hop and hop habits, just to kind of stick out a good normal out there to catch them from far while you still remain safe. Again, yeah, it's also just one thing to approach from far where jump C won't work. So from ranges outside of jump C is really the optimal position you want to be to poke with this move. And that's really one thing you need to capitalize on with short hops as well with Dinosaur, is that they're primarily a mechanism of poking more so than a means of approach. But it's also a means of approach, but not in the sense where it's like you can 100% abuse it, except if it's jump C. Now, alright, I think it's about time I did get into jump C. Jump C, hella fucking good. If you ask me, one of the best jumping normals in the game, and let me tell you exactly why. I'll tell you a thing or two about a thing or two. Alright, so jump C, just by literally short hopping with this move while you're at point blank, so let's say you're clipping like a 2B, you're effectively making an ambiguous cross-up situation against a majority of characters in this game. I can't really show it against Dinosaur because he's such a fat fuck, but basically what I'm trying to say is that you can basically create a fucked up ambiguous cross-up situation with this normal. Actually, I think it would be wise just to show it just as a proof of concept, just switch characters. Yeah, whatever.
Stage select.
How are we all doing tonight, guys? I hope we're well. Hope we're all doing pretty good. Alright, let me see how we can get this shit working. I suppose really I just record, wouldn't I? Or no, I've got it. Okay. Alright, so effectively when you're using jump C, you're creating a ambiguous cross-up situation. Look, and not only to mention that, even when it still lands cross-up, there is a chance you will land up on the same side, and vice versa. It's really fucked up. So you're effectively putting them in two 50-50s in one, just from short hopping. I mean, it's like you're playing like solid KOF around, just playing really fucking bullshit, and then like, oh man, what the fuck's going on here? He's just getting all these Mexican crossups on me all day. So it's extremely, extremely abusable if you condition your opponent right and you're using it correctly. What's good, Pete? I hope you're good, man. But yeah, you're effectively creating an ambiguous situation just from pressuring. This is kind of more mid-screen based, but yeah. What the fuck? And you have the choice to delay it as well. That's another thing. Just delay it slightly. Throw off their timing if they're trying to retaliate. And if they are trying to retaliate, then boom. They get grabbed. They get scooped. And then it's back into the vortex and they're shitting their pants thinking themselves, oh man, I really shouldn't have done that. Alright, so now I've talked a little bit more about his main kind of jumping normals, I feel like it's appropriate to cover Jump A. This is like the... I would probably say if we were to go air to air, we're playing air footsies essentially. This is basically like a normal that would cover the ranges, or above dinosaur rather, that Jump D couldn't. So it's quite reliable for that. So let's say if they're doing a full hop, right, and you're deciding to retreat with like a air normal, and you can physically see that they're full jumping towards you, right? So you just press A and they're clipped. It's really from certain ranges where it's like you're getting that from, but basically acts as like a substitute, as like a safe call over like the likes of Jump D. So it is useful for that. Suppose now it's good to get into his Jump B. Not really something I would use outside of just like if you were looking for like a deep kind of meaty jumping, like with a safe jump. Oh, excuse me. So let me just show an example real quick. Of course, I fuck it up because it's not able to do. I'm not able to do it during a tutorial. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it doesn't work during a tutorial, of course. Son of a bitch, why is it doing that? Oh, I see, it's set to... I don't know why it does that, it just resets the controls like every time, that's so stupid. Okay, oh, that's not the right one, that's right. Fuck. Let me try this again. More like this. Like that. That's kind of just like your deep jumping setup for all your safe jumps, I suppose. But yeah, really, outside of that, again, nothing to really use liberally over the likes of his main jumping normals. But yeah, it's otherwise I would just mainly kind of stick to the likes of Jump C if you were to kind of get that meaty kind of deep jumping. But I mean, you know, Jump B has its uses, you can kind of catch them off guard, and because of like the low blocks on it delivered, you're able to take throw into it much easier, so that is one other thing that kind of gives it more of a benefit. Let's see. I really think that's it for no- oh no, that's right, of course, how could I forget? Oh, you know what I've just remembered? I've just remembered you can option select 2B. I should get into that actually at some point, so if someone in the chat could kind of remind me like later down the line just to cover 2B a bit more in terms of its option select, then please do, because it's extremely important to kind of maintaining that lockdown. Also, what's good, Liam? Nice to see you in the chat. Shout out to Liam, of course. Hope you're doing well, amigo. Right, anyway, yeah. Jump CD, you know, it's pretty much kind of the same uses of a Jump CDs, where it's kind of got that built-in large block stun to kind of force a mix-up as you're jumping. I can't really show that right now, but I'll get into all this. I'll get into all these main setups later. But one thing to kind of note as well with Jump CD is that it's slightly disjointed by the chest, around the chest area. So about there. So it does have a decent sized hitbox, and you're able to kind of clip them from further out than you normally would. And it's active frame wide, it's alright. But mainly, again, this is just kind of your your main tool to kind of force pressure on the opponent and cause hesitation, because they're in so much block stun, right?